Welcome to the Whitetail Legacy Podcast.
And we get the back view of him, and I mean, it's just a mega.
52 yards is a long shot. Magnum PI, what we named him. No idea.
Just a magnum.
Yeah, just a magnum.
Come on, Cam, last year we said probably 150, mid 150.
Yeah.
Same doe from the morning come out with that 9-pointer.
Here steps out this 90-inch 8-pointer. You're like,
I'm like, okay, well, there's still a buck back there grunting.
Yeah.
And then out steps like another 90-inch 8-pointer. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm like, deer, right there.
Yeah, like
and he's already
yards.
30 yards.
Yeah.
He was literally 5 yards from the base of the tree. Could have been, had a buck down at 1:40 in the afternoon, back there deep on public. 3 does come out pretty early. It was like 245, 24-yard shot, sent to combat veteran, and I tell you what, man, dude, it just smoked. We always get so jacked up when the other person kills. It's just almost like we got it done.
Yeah. And when you killed that doe, I was like, hell yeah, man.
And we come down here to Missouri.
I asked homie one more time, I'm like, is it a good buck? And he goes, yeah, real good, solid buck. I'm like, all right, boom. And the deer just drops. Sure. Super special to me.
Whitetail Legacy Podcast, bringing you back to the hunt and leaving a legacy. Baller Rut.
Ready?
Ready, go.
Welcome to the Whitetail Legacy Podcast, coming in your ear holes on this cold Wednesday. This weekend's about to get nuts losing cold.
Yeah, I seen it's like with the wind chill, it's going to be negative 28.
Yeah, the real temp is supposed to be like -7. I'm like, man. Hopefully we ain't got to work. That's going to be terrible.
Yeah, but I got a feeling it always happens.
Yeah, for sure. But we probably sound a little bit different. I'm in my garage in the studio. Homie's in his basement. We're both filming this because we started doing that. You catch it on Last Breath TV's YouTube page if you want to watch us talk, which is so weird. This is our second one. This is my first one, homie's second one, so it's something we're trying to get used to. But going to sound a little different. And then we got another guest coming on. We got a 3-way going on here, Whitetail Legacy style. So, all right, homie. We didn't talk about it, but are we going to do the hotline every episode?
The hotline.
The suicide prevention hotline?
Oh,
for veteran?
Yeah, we can definitely do that here.
I know that's something that we talked about that we were going to do, but we haven't had an episode where we started it, so I think we should do it now.
Absolutely. The suicide prevention hotline number is 1-800-273-8255. And if you do not want to make a phone call, they also have a chat option available. So I guarantee everybody knows somebody right now that, especially with everything going on in the world, somebody out there is struggling more than you probably know, and that number could be a great outlet for them to reach and have some privacy.
All right. Well, I'm going to get into the Exodus Trail Cam tip of the week for you guys. This time of the year, most everybody has their trail cams out. We actually still have a couple out in the woods. Most people have them at the house sitting around, but one thing we really like to do this time of the year is take your batteries out of those cameras. Those batteries that corrode, sitting on the counter, getting condensation from in the house, and we'll put some corrosion on your contact points. And I've actually ruined cameras from having batteries set in them. One other thing we like to do is, if you haven't done it, at the beginning of the year, mark your SD cards that you pull off those cameras. One thing I like to do is mark them and then go through everything one more time. And I was just doing that the other night, and I sent you pictures of stuff that we missed.
Yeah.
Like chaos going through there, daylight, the day after shotgun season when we sat all day there, and he's 60 yards from the blind the next day, and we completely missed it. I think when you have a mobile camera and you're looking over a big, vast area and you're just swiping through all the pictures and one's like, he's just barely on there, you just miss it looking on your phone because it's so small.
Yeah.
When you can pull it up on a laptop, you can see it so much better.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And if you're not running the video mode, like we run the Lift 2s in video mode, and we had a mobile on top of it, and that mobile went into delay from early detection, and then that 10-second video was able to capture a buck going through, and something you didn't see on the mobile, so you think that there's no deer in the area or whatever, and lo and behold, there was a buck that cruised through, and you just missed it. So you can pick up stuff like that, and just like Cody was saying there, when you get it blowed up on an actual computer screen, you can see a lot more detail in the pictures as well.
Yeah. So just to reinstate that, mark your SD cards, go through them one more time, and make sure and get all the batteries out of those cameras and get them staged up for next year, or I guess this year. Some people putting them out for turkeys. I've never done that, but I might run some mobiles for some turkeys this year. Give it a shot.
Yeah, right.
Just to see if there's any in the area. So it'd be nice just to know what time they're hitting the field, periodically. So it's something I've never done, something I think about. But do you have next level deer supplements?
Yeah, the Next Level guys have actually been to a couple shows already, and their next show that they're going to be attending is going to be the Iowa Deer Classic. That is going to be the weekend of March 5th through the 7th. They're going to have a booth set up there, so you guys will be able to go there and be able to meet Nate and Scott and see some of the deer that they've been able to provide nutrition to through their supplemental feeding program. If you guys want to check them out before the show, get a little background on there, you can do that at nextleveldeer.com.
Yeah, I'm excited to go up there. I'm going to try and make it just because we've known him for so long, but we've never met him in person.
Yeah,
so
right.
It's nice to actually meet him in person. It seems like we have.
I know, it's crazy to think that we haven't even shook their hand,
Yeah, we talk to him every day, but we haven't ever met him. And then we were going to, meet him during turkey season last year, but COVID put the stop to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have the antibodies for, they're saying, at least 3 months. So I can't get it.
You'll be solid.
Yeah, I'll be solid. I'll be definitely going up there. I'm invincible for at least 3 months now. But is that it? What else we got?
I think that's it, man.
Last breath. Oh, we got last breath.
Yeah, if you want to see, I would say our hunt is up, Logan and I's hunt from a couple weekends ago, and that is up there. It is a Last Breath Live, and also our video podcast is up there if you want to check that out. We did share that on our social. The link's there if you are a little internet lacking, and that'll be able to get you there. But I liked that, and it was definitely a fun trip and cool for Logan to learn how to run a camera and then be able to watch some of his crispy footy, as we were calling it, that he laid down up there for us. So hopefully next year, get up there again.
One, I bet.
What's that?
He'll be buying a camera now.
He was talking about, he's like, man, I see how people like this. I was like, all right, you got it.
Yeah, you're done.
Yep.
You're done for. So if you're gonna get rid of your old one, you might be able to make him a sweet deal.
For sure.
But yeah, you really did a good job on that. I wasn't able to make that, traveling on the road, and then my life went to hell after that with traveling and COVID and all that stuff. So, but you crushed it, you and Logan up there, and I'm back now, and hopefully we get the content rolling, get back in gear, and we're still both not working at home, so definitely a struggle to try to make this podcast work and having to travel further for work and everything. But
I think where I'm working is going to be my new home.
Do you? You like it there?
I do.
I figure once you get out of the yard, you would like it somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Way better. I kept telling you guys, I'm like, I don't know why anybody stays here, but you all need to stay here so you don't figure out it's good somewhere else.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
All right. Well, we haven't figured this whole video thing out, so Tom has been patiently waiting, just listen to us ramble. So how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great.
All right, great. He did not fall off or fall asleep on us. We appreciate you hanging out. We're not sure how to pause the GoPro and then call you and have you back on. Something that we're going to work on in the future for sure, figuring out. But we got Tom from Oro Valley Outdoors on, and kind of Last Breath podcast this week about social media and whether it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's kind of going to tie into what we're talking about tonight a little bit. But first off, just introduce yourself to the listeners a little bit.
All right, yeah, no problem. Yeah, like they said, my name's Tom Baker. I started my brand, Oil Valley Outdoors, September of 2018, right before our archery season. It was kind of funny how I started it. I was on a team prior to starting my own, and things just weren't working out, and this and that and another. No hard blood or nothing, but I wanted to do my own thing. I had a vision for it, and I just wanted to try it out. And so far, so good. I mean, it's been doing good now. This upcoming September will be 3 years of me having the brand open.
Yeah, I seen that you just won a award here. Did you win that today or last weekend, or when did you get that?
Yeah, actually, the drawing for that staff of the year for Heated Hunts you're talking about, the drawing was, I wouldn't call it a drawing, but more they just picked about 2 weeks ago. I just got it in the mail today. So
nice. Well, congratulations.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's tough. There's a lot of guys out there that are creating content, and you've really picked up on the pictures. I really enjoy following your brand. Been pretty good at the photography skills, and that's something I strive to do. So anything I can look at and get maybe a creative idea or something, I appreciate. So we know it's tough making content and producing stuff. It takes a lot more work than people think, but I enjoyed following your brand. Justin Duncan's actually the one that showed me your brand maybe 2 years ago or so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were with another team when we very first started way back in the day, and we kind of had the same thing where we wanted to start our own thing. And it's hard to work with people if you don't feel like they're putting in as much work as you. And I feel like you put a lot of effort in your brand. And there's some guys that just do this kind of half-heartedly instead of just going all in.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I do my part for photography and just creating posts, the content, the captions. I try really hard just for the followers to kind of get a feeling, this feels like something I've been through, or they can relate to it somehow in some way, and if they can't, then at least I can provide a very good quality picture for them to look at, just to grab their attention. Yeah, like you said, with guys having their own stuff and not putting forth the effort, it does happen. And honestly, I kind of feel that way about myself. I've been really wanting to do some video. I've been telling myself and Jill for the past year now, and I just honestly haven't done it. I have a lot of B-roll saved, but I don't have any hunts or anything to start doing my YouTube. That's definitely gonna have to change here in the near future.
Yeah, going out and videoing stuff, or just like you said, B-roll, but then being able to get that stuff all put together and being able to have a story, or whether you got a couple good clips in there of of a deer doing something cool, being able to get it all put together is quite a big challenge. And people are like, oh yeah, I want a video. After they see somebody put out a video, like, oh yeah, I can do that. And then when you get to that point after the hunt's over and you're trying to put it all together, it can be overwhelming, especially at the beginning when you're just starting out.
Right. Yeah, definitely is. I think my biggest downfall though is not having the right equipment. And I hate using that as an excuse, because honestly, for all my photography still, I'm editing them on my phone. I don't do anything on a laptop. Jill has a camera that hooks up via Wi-Fi to my phone. That's how I download my pictures. And then I have software on my phone to edit my pictures. So that's the hardest part for me, I think, is it's going to be another leap, which is more money, obviously, getting a nice desktop, laptop, whatever. It's a lot more into it, and I just keep pushing it back, and I really need to stop and just start doing it.
It's a big task to to start. And just like you said, I mean, buying a computer nowadays or a big desktop and then getting everything loaded onto there, it's something I don't look forward to, but I know here in the next year or so, I'm going to be buying a new laptop because this one here is about full. So it'll be something that you just got to do, and you'll just think about the end product or, what your vision is, and being able to have that forever is something that Cody and I really bank on. Is, it's not for everybody out there to watch. It's more for us to have it for ourselves and be able to show our kids that we went out there when, they were 4 years old and we shot this deer and then we brought it home to them, and, they were all excited and get all that on video. So stuff like that is kind of our motivating factor.
Right. Yeah.
And then once you got it, you got it.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
Everything we bought, like the big stuff, the big hitters, like we just bought a new camera and it was very costly, but now we got it. So
Right.
we're good now. I would say we're good for a while. I mean, stuff keeps coming out. They just had one that, filming at 8K. I'm like, man, I don't know if you ever need that. Like, realistically, in the future, you might want that, but right now, homie, can you see any reason to have that?
Bro, then you would be able to get that eyeball shot you want.
Yeah.
Other than that,
something.
no.
Yeah, you'd be able to get something. You could film a whole football field without even touching
the zoom.
Zoom factor. You could film scores in each touchdown and not have to touch
Yeah.
anything. So.
Yeah, today I actually just saw there on Facebook, Sony released their brand new, I don't know what model it was, I can't remember, but they released a new camera today, and that thing videos in 4K, 120 frames per second in 4K. I'm like, holy, just imagine the storage that takes.
I say you want to talk about filling up a car.
Can your camera even last that long? I think it'd be overheating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were talking, how long is one 4K clip? 4 minutes, like 1 gig?
No, a 5-minute clip was 4.5 gigs.
Yeah, it's just nuts.
Yeah, that's nuts. And then try to send that somewhere to get it edited.
Yeah.
Which
Right.
I'm having trouble doing right now. So
There's
definitely
no way you could send that without it being compressed. I find it hard to believe. That's just nuts.
homie makes it happen.
Yeah. We made it happen.
He's got that shit down. I got to learn it. So I'm excited to really get pissed off when I try to figure all that stuff out. But anyways, the reason we wanted to have you on is Last Breath did a podcast this week about, is social media good for hunters and whatnot? And you actually made a post on social media that made an impact to me. And it was talking about a buck that you killed this year and why it was special to you. So we wanted to kind of talk this whole podcast about hunting heritage and how it's something that's lost because it's not something that people talk about. You don't see a lot of guys like talking about hunting with their grandpa or talking about hunting with their dads, or there's a lot of people out there talking about the tactics that they're using, but not very many people are just showcasing the camaraderie and the heritage of hunting. I feel like that's lost, and I don't know why people aren't showcasing that on social media. One of my big dreams in life is I want to build a nice garage in between my actual garage and my house right now, and I just want it to be a place that after shotgun season, like 25-30 people come and we just hang around, bring your kids, and we just talk about deer hunting and what happened, and people got their bucks there. I just feel like that'd be such a cool, consecutive thing to do year after year and kind of make it a heritage for my kids to remember when they grow up. So once I get the house edition done, then I'm going to be doing that. So give me about 2 years, and I'm trying to buy land in the middle somewhere. So one goal is going to get pushed off on the other one, I know, but that's something that I think is missed out on a lot.
No, it definitely is. It is sad, scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, whatever it may be, and not seeing more of it. Just like you mentioned, it's more about me and what I'm doing. This is my style. And that's something I'm never going to tend away from. You know, growing up, it's family from the beginning. That's how I got introduced to hunting, to fishing, to trapping, to everything. That's something I don't take for granted. And that post you're talking about, definitely hit home. It was very emotional for me, at least, just like I know it would be to a lot of people. But yeah, that was one to remember. Actually, to go into the hunt, if you guys want me to, I can kind of just run down through how it all happened. But my best friend texted me that day. I've actually been laid off now since November 11th, and so it's like prime time hunting everything. I was kind of stoked, but now I'm kind of getting bummed out because now I'm bored. But it was rifle season here in Pennsylvania, and it was December 2nd, I believe. And he messaged me that morning and said he was going to put on a couple of drives and asked me if I wanted to tag along. I said, yeah, I got nothing going on. So headed out, made a couple of drives. It was, nothing. Maybe pushed out a doe or two, but nothing exciting. And we're going up to our last spot and set us up. Jace did, my buddy. And I'd never been in this part of the woods we were at. It's out on state game lands, actually, which is kind of cool, too, because I've never killed a deer on state game lands. And set up on the spot, and it seemed like forever. Like a half hour went by, and I'm not seeing orange or nothing. I'm like, am I in the right spot? I'm like questioning myself. I'm like lost. There's no way I'm going to find myself back. And so I just hung out for a little bit longer, and where I was in these hemlock thickets, and it was snowing like crazy the couple of days before. So we had about, 5 or 6 inches of snow. So with that wind on the branches, I mean, you couldn't really see that far, maybe 50 yards to get a clear shot. And I'm sitting there waiting. I'm telling myself, if I see a legal buck, I'm just going to shoot it. I'm tired of holding out on a big one and all this. And I just see Brown coming down over the hill. I'm looking. I seen I had antlers. I'm like, okay. So I'm looking, put the gun up to it. I just seen a 3 on the one side, and I'm like, yep, he's legal. And he hopped behind this tree, and I lost him. So I'm looking, trying not to get away from my gun, just in case he pops out again real quick. He's obviously being pushed, nervous. And he just, like clockwork, just took one more hop out from that tree into this opening and shot and let him have it. And I'm not trying to sound cliche, but he didn't go 20. He piled up right there. And it was pretty neat. And then my buddy come down who pushed it. And that was actually the first deer we ever killed together. We've been hunting since, we were 12. Not together, obviously. We're too young, but we got introduced the same time. And so it was pretty cool. But then, just taking time to reflect, to actually use my grandfather's gun, to be the first one to kill a deer with it. Just put me in a different state of mind. Just made you really connect with everything, with the heritage, with being brought up, not taking it for granted. And that's something, I'm not going to lie, that's something I think most of us do growing up. Whether you're hunting with your uncle or your grandpa, your father or mom, whoever it may be, whoever got you introduced, and takes you out year after year. You take it for granted, like, okay, next year it's the same thing we're going to do, spend opening day with them. And to not be able to do that, it's hard, so sharing a moment, with myself and my best friend and then Jill taking pictures, and it was nice, just made you appreciate where you came from, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. There's nothing really, there's songs about it even. There's just something about, a gun that's been passed down or a gun that you got from your grandpa. You don't really know, like, every story that it has, but you might, know a few. And I got a gun like that, and it recently stopped cycling. It's a 22 semi-automatic Remington, worth maybe $100, and I had it completely tore apart in my house yesterday. And my kid come in there and was asking what I was doing, and I was trying to get it fixed. And my wife asked me, what gun it was. There's a trick. If you just put a gun in the gun cabinet and don't get it out for like 7 months, they would just think it's something that you had for a long time. So she doesn't know half this crap I have, So she has no idea what I got, but I had that thing tore all apart. She's like, well, how much is it? Because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this thing back together. And I told her, I said, well, it's not, worth anything. It's just, it's my grandpa's coon gun, and the stock's just beat up to hell. But I took it all apart, cleaned it all, put it back together, and it cycles perfect. So, like I said, I might be able to get $100 for it, but it's just something about, it's your grandpa's gun, and he hunted with it, and he probably killed 100 coons with that gun and beat him over the head with it. The butt stock's kind of busted, and there's a lot of memories that gun's had. So I could see, you shooting one with your grandpa's gun, being the first one, with a buddy that you haven't killed a deer with before, and I know it was kind of a long time since you had killed a buck also, so all that combined made it a pretty special moment. And I feel like some people take those moments in and soak them in, and some people, I don't know if it just happens so, like every year it happens, they kill a deer or something, but that's something we try to do, is just soak that in and slow down. Homie, do you have any of your grandpa's guns or your dad's gun or anything?
No, I have a 20 gauge Remington 870 that my dad bought when he started hunting back in '94. He bought two of the same exact guns, and then here in probably 2005, he had one custom spray painted, custom colored, and one in green and one in like a kind of like a rust color. And then that's how we differentiate between the two guns, the green gun or the brown gun. And I had just grown up using the brown gun, and he did some looking back on the serial numbers, and it come to find out that the gun that I have is the gun that he shot his first deer with, and he thought it was the other way around. He thought it was the green gun, and which is the gun that he had used. And here probably I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer than that. My uncle had passed away, my dad's brother, and it was just kind of a sudden, out of the blue type deal. And my dad and him were pretty close, so obviously, my dad was pretty tore up about it. And he just said that, he had some things that he wanted to do before, something weird and random happened to him. So that's how I ended up with that gun, 4 years ago. So I killed my first deer with it. He's killed his first deer with it. And I'm going to let the wife take it out this fall, and maybe she can do the same. Then, of course, we'll have it for both of our boys this, not this year, but coming up, and be a lot of firsts on that gun for sure.
Yeah, super cool. There's something about, just something about guns like that just hold a special place, for a country boy, or for someone that likes hunting. They just, something about them. You don't hear of like a lot of bows getting passed down or, anything like that. It's always the gun. It's always the gun that's got passed down and it's got a lot of memories with. So
yeah, really the only bows that I hear about getting passed down are like, a long bow that their grandpa had back in, 63, and just, it had a couple deer on it, and it's just kind of been in the corner. And, now trad's starting to take off again. So a lot of guys are scooping them up. Yeah.
Yeah. Tom, did you hunt with your grandpa pretty often?
Oh yeah. Every year, if not every weekend of the same year. He actually built his quote unquote cabin. And I say cabin, you're thinking this high dollar, high class luxury suite in the woods, which it wasn't at all. but that was just what we referred it to as Grandpa's cabin. And he built that, I believe, in '08. And we would go up, me and my brother Matthew, my younger brother, we would go up every opening day weekend of PA rifle hunting and stayed the night in the cabin the night before opening day. We'd bring up a radio that operated on batteries. We'd listen to, if it was Froggy or whatever, country music, or if he had some debate he wanted to hear, whatever it may be. He was big into politics. We'd always just listen to it, and we'd bring a card table up and play cards, and nothing more than just the wood stove for light and heat. And we slept on cots, me and my brother, and Grandpa slept in his lazy boy up there. He had to have it. If he wasn't sleeping in his lazy boy, he wasn't sleeping. So we all hung out there, and then in the morning we just either we'd get together and watch over a hillside, or we'd spread out, and later in the day we'd start pushing for each other. But it's funny though, looking back at it, and Grandpa is always very I don't know how to say it, but he always wanted to one up you, I guess you could say, just because he's Grandpa. He's been there, done that. He's going to do it more times than you have. All jokes, nothing serious. And looking back at it now, and then realizing, I just killed the first deer with this gun, I look up and I said, well, Grandpa, I outdid you here. It's just something you always have. You always have them jokes with whoever it may be in your family, and but yeah, we'd always hunt together every year. So not being able to now, really, it doesn't really feel the same. Back then it was like Super Bowl weekend. It was like a holiday for us. We took it as a holiday. It was your favorite time of the year. We got to spend the night with Grandpa in the cabin. And then in the morning we got to go deer hunt. Like, what more could you ask for? And so not having that now is, it sucks, but there's nothing you can really do about it except just continue bringing, your kids, and if you have nephews or nieces or whoever that want to be involved in hunting with you, and just get them introduced. And, that cabin still stands today, so we still use it. And it's funny though, because Jill just killed the first deer ever out of that cabin. Since 2008, no one has killed a deer out of it. And she just killed her first deer out of it this archer season on the very first Sunday ever allowed in Pennsylvania. So it was right there. This year is nothing but Grandpa, I guess. The memories, and it's been a great year.
And that is something cool. And I think, like we said at the beginning, that's something that's lost. I don't know, I think it may be just our state, homie. There's not a lot of guys that get together like that and have camaraderie. I know that you kind of used to do it at your dad's, but I don't know very many guys that do that. It seems like it's kind of like a couple guys or the people that hunt the property. Everybody's just so serious about it now that it seems like a lot of the camaraderie's gone, or the heritage, or like, this is what we used to do. So no one in my family hunted at all. My grandpa hunted, but I actually never hunted with my grandpa. So he hunted before I was born and when I was young, and then he moved into the city and never hunted again. It's just something, he never did deer hunt. He said that there was no deer to hunt when he was growing up, so he hunted for the high prices for coons, and then once they lost their value, he just stopped hunting. He did some duck hunting too, but I never went hunting with him, so I never really had a heritage or a tradition that I did like that. But that's something that, something that I think you should carry on with your kids. And then if you could have your grandkids there and you could be Grandpa, how magical would that be?
For sure.
You got the gun, and now you're Grandpa, and you're doing this. You're one up on them and doing the same thing, and telling them the story about the time you killed this buck over here, and they ain't killed anything, so they need to listen to you. You know what you're doing, and all that stuff. It's just stuff that is definitely lost. And if there is more people out there that have that heritage, I wish they would share it with us, It's just something that you don't hear a lot of, and it's something that we don't have around here at all. So.
Yeah. I mean, Pennsylvania alone, I mean, a few years back, what they say is like the biggest army in America when the rifle season's here, or whatever. It's just, there's a lot of people that hunt in Pennsylvania. And so I think that's more common, I guess, what I'm trying to say around here than you guys. But yeah, I mean, you definitely see a decline in it, especially here too. That's just, I think, the lack of hunters. There's not a lot of people doing it like there used to be. I was doing research just for Pennsylvania alone, and back in 2015, there's 1.1 million hunting licenses sold. Now that's resident and non-resident. That's a total. This past year, there's only 600,000.
Dang.
That's quite a big difference in just 5 years.
It's a huge difference, yeah.
Just that alone, obviously, you're not going to be hearing about these stories and this and that and another. Guys that just playing out aren't doing it,
Yeah. All the old timers that had this tradition with their dad and grandpas, they're all fading out. And like I said, if someone doesn't carry on traditions like that, it's all just going to fade out, and there's going to be nothing left. That's why I want that damn shed and just people to come and have a place to chill and crack some beers and talk about deer hunting after, because if you deer hunt Friday or Saturday evening, you're of shotgun season, you're hunting. It's not like I'm going to take Saturday shotgun season off. You're more than likely hunting. So everybody that's a hunter went out hunting. So if you could get 20 or 30 of them around, couch, pool table, beer, whatever, just talking, man, it would be cool to be able to have that tradition to carry on and have that place for people to go. Because like I said, it's going to end. There's going to be no traditions like that because it's already fading, just like we're talking about. So,
yeah, I want to say around here, like the biggest group of people that I could think of is like maybe four guys, because everybody's got to have their own spot, everybody's got to have their own stand, and everybody's got to have their own, doing it on their own.
Yeah.
And like, just like I was telling the wife here this past gun season, I was like, taking gun season a little less serious. I just want to shoot a deer with my bow, and then whatever happens next is whatever it is, And I'm gonna have her out this fall, so I'm gonna be kind of probably babysitting her a little bit. Got the boys coming up, so really looking forward to like me gun hunting is it's gonna look different, and it's just I'm actually adding more people instead of breaking off and going somewhere else. And Cody, you got your boys that are going to be hunting at some point, you would think, and it's just like you said, it's probably time for us to start like kind of our own tradition of getting together and having a nice big group and telling lies.
Yeah, I mean, I know everybody's going to want their spot, and you can go off and hunt your own hunt, but just having a place to come back and have a meal, sit around, talk, kids get together. The kids are going to remember that, just like Tom remembers that time with his grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
If they end up loving the outdoors, it's probably going to be some of their best memories that they have, because it's going to be something special, because it's not like it happens all the time. It happens once a shotgun season, once a year, once a weekend, 1 weekend a year, you do it. So I think that's something that maybe we could do, is just try to start something, especially when the boys get into it, try to start something, get together. They can learn from each other, and definitely be, another reason for us to hang out too. So that's always a bonus.
Yeah.
But so Pennsylvania, I mean, losing that many hunters, it's crazy to see. Maybe just, it seems like I'm on social and there's just, maybe it's just because I got like 3,000 friend requests or whatever, but it seems like everybody's out there hunting, man. And there's a lot of people still hunting. I'm like, how long are these guys' seasons go? So, are you guys all done up in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, our season ended January 18th, I believe.
January 18th. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's about right when ours did.
Yeah, it was the day after ours.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I still see guys out there hunting. I'm like, man, if you could go into February, like we would wear out. Then you would really wear out.
for sure.
I wear out after November, so like if I had December, January, and into February, it would be tough. But
Yeah, in the bow hunting league Snapchat, the guy sent a picture of a really solid 8-pointer that he passed, and southern deer, and I was like, when the hell does your season end? He's like, oh yeah, passed him like.
ends down there. It just keeps going and then opens up. Right
Yeah, I'm like, bro, it's January 30th. Like, let it rip here.
Still passing deer.
Yeah, I was like, come on.
It just goes right into turkey season. The day turkey season opens up, the guys down south are like, all right, time to wrap up deer season.
Yeah.
Be like, man, I need a break in between. I got to get shit done. I got a lot of stuff I got to do. So,
yeah, our season really isn't that long. It comes in the first weekend of October, and then it goes out a week or so before rifle season. And when rifle season ends, which is like more than 2 weeks now, because they give us that first weekend. But when that ends and late season comes back in, then it ends January 18th. Obviously not every year, but this year happened to be. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of guys that hunt PA, but tell you what, growing up, just being in like middle school and that, and then it was like all of your buddies were telling stories about, oh yeah, me and my dad are going to be camping out here. Or, we found a new spot and blah, blah, blah. Just because everybody did it. That's how we were brought up. I feel like now no one talks about it. Now they're just talking about the next time they're going to be on Xbox Live together and playing Madden, It's weird, just what not even a 10 years difference can make.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were the age of when social media started, and they live in that and breathe in that. You know what I mean? So they're involved in all that shit like it's just a normal life. That was something that we didn't have that really when I can't remember when I got on MySpace. I had to be 15 or 16. So all that time before, you had to talk to your friends and tell them what you were doing and shit. You didn't have anything. You couldn't talk to them at home unless you were texting them. You know what I mean? So
right.
Definitely a different era that we're living in. But is MySpace still going? Is my page still active? But it's like a monster background and some Ja Rule or something.
I was say, bro, you got a sick song on there, I bet.
Yeah.
Hella beats.
You all need to go back to our MySpace pages and see what they look like.
I definitely would. I remember I was obsessed with Taking Back Sunday, the band, and I'd put them as my layout, and I had them playing on my song, or when you click on your profile, it played that song. I don't know what song it was, but I remember they asked me to be their friend, and it was probably some spam account. Dude, I lit up like Justin Bieber just invited me to prom. I was so excited. Yeah.
I made it. I finally made it. But yeah, definitely a different world. And everybody says that we're losing hunter numbers and it's going downhill. But I think the reason it just doesn't seem like it is because there's so many more Facebook groups. There's so many more teams. People are more adamant to get online and talk about hunting. So it just seems like there's an assload of guys doing it. But before there was just a ton of people doing it that weren't, didn't have social media, didn't have a way to connect to people. And so it just didn't seem like it, I think. But around here, I know I say it a lot, but there's just not a lot of, at least for me and homie, there's just not a ton of people that are really into hunting. So it's weird, but I know out in Pennsylvania, it's really deep in heritage, but Illinois is kind of weird, man. There's guys that are in it, and you would think, oh, no one's in it, it'd be easy to find ground, but man, it's tough. I don't.
It's probably all bought and leased. It's probably tough to hunt.
It's all leased. the big bucks bring them in from out of state, and it definitely makes it challenging. But
That's what I was just going to say too. Is you think it would be polar opposite, with the size of bucks that are in your state compared to PA. It's just you would think it'd be different. There'd be more hunters down there than there are here, but it's not.
yeah, I think it's just Illinois and all like the weird gun stuff that they have, and the shotgun season dates are weird, and a lot of stuff to drive people away. And then, I mean, like, homie, imagine being a new hunter and wanting to hunt turkey season for the first time in Illinois.
Yeah.
With no guidance. With like the website we got and everything, you would have no idea.
Right. I seen you commented on Clint McCoy's Facebook post there, and like that it's atrocious. I mean, it's absolute trash.
Yeah, it's set back like 30, 40 years. It's like the analog.
Exactly.
Like
it's definitely analog.
When I first got on the internet, like that's what we had to go through to get to a web page. We had to like click 9 things to get to an article you wanted to read or something.
Yeah.
But
it's easier to fill out on paper and just send it in.
Yeah. So someone was like, I'm going to turkey hunt this year. And then they would like Google it. They'd be like, what in the hell how many birds can I kill and what day can I kill them? And it's just.
What lottery's open?
Yeah, it's just no good. So I put in for 3 lotteries this year. That's the most I ever have.
Nice.
Or 3 tags.
So is there just not a lot of turkeys down there? Or?
I don't know. There's turkeys. It's just, I don't know.
Being able to hunt them legally is a challenge.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So there's 5 different tags you can draw, and they're all 5 days long. And some have weekends, some don't. And you can draw a tag for one. You can put in for all 5 and then not draw a tag for a second. And then you have to pick a certain county or a special hunt area. You can't it's not just like an Illinois turkey tag. It's this county only. So homie's turkey hunts a different county than I turkey hunt. So if he killed down there and I didn't have a tag for down there, I couldn't kill another bird if I was with him, even though I have an Illinois turkey tag. It's a disaster. So
that's crazy.
But I mean, for a new hunter that wanted to get into it, I'm still confused on it sometimes. I have to read and like every year you're like, okay, what season has a weekend? What season has a weekend? You're going through there and trying to figure it out. It's just no good. But I think that is what is keeping the numbers down a little bit. And, a lot of the population of Illinois is Chicago. I don't know how many people say, oh, you're from Illinois, how's Chicago? Like, that's the first thing they ask. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. You've probably been there more times than I have.
Yeah.
I hate that place. I don't even go to the suburbs of it. You know? But people are like, how close do you live? I'm like 3 hours, and I don't ever want to go there. It's not a place I like to go. If I'm going there, it's because I got to go for work or something dumb.
And that is a last ditch.
Yeah. I'll drive to Pepin, Wisconsin, 6 hours away before I go the 2.5 to around Chicago.
To Cicero.
Yeah, Cicero is the guys that work in Cicero are so safe.
Oh yeah.
They're like, yeah, living my whole career right here. Never gonna get bumped out of this spot, but yeah, just getting back to the topic, I feel like there needs to be more heritage. There needs to be more guys out there trying to start these traditions, with the youth or with their uncles or someone, get the family together, even if it's just a meal, like something small, like, hey, I'm going to fry up this fish that we caught in the spring and let's do it, shotgun season or something. Just something that everybody could get around. And even if it starts out with, 3 buddies, 5 years ago, me and homie didn't have no kids. If we would have did that 5 years, just us, now it'd be us with wives and kids. And if your sons start having a friend that wants to hunt, he comes, it's going to grow into a big deal over the years. So I feel like people need to start those traditions back and talk about them to make other people want to start those traditions. Because when I hear your stories, That's I want that. I want that for my kids. I want my kids to be able to look back. If I live long enough to have grandkids, that was a more special time for your grandpa probably than it was for you.
Oh, for sure.
So I want to have that. I want to be able to. I want my grandkids when I'm dead to still be talking about that time that we went hunting, or we went to deer camp or whatever. So
Right.
it's definitely seems like no one has time to do anything, but the hours of the day haven't shrunk from people in the past. They just prioritize them differently.
Yep.
What do you think, homie? You think we should start up a tradition somehow?
Yeah, we'll come up with something. And just like I was saying earlier, we're going to be adding people to our hunting camp, and it's gonna be something special.
I told my wife, I said when it's a really good excuse if you think about it. So I was telling her, I said, I'm going to be hunting. I'm going to have 3 boys that are hopefully going to be hunting. You're going to be hunting. 2 boys that are going to be hunting. We're going to have a hell of a lease.
Right.
We're going to have to drop some serious cash. I said, you want these boys to have a good time and see deer. We take them out now and they don't see anything. So I said, it's going to burn them out. So, I mean, you get that many guys hunting, you're going to have some hell property. And she's like, yeah. Like, it's going to cost a lot of money, You're either going to have to lease something giant or have 3 or 4 different small pieces everybody can spread out on or something. But
yeah,
it's definitely going to be a different game. But looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. So, all right, Tom. Well, let the people know where they can find all your content and I know you talked about your brand a little bit, but any plans that you got going for this year and what you want the message of your brand to be just in a whole.
Yeah, no problem. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. That's all we have at Oil Valley Outdoors for both. For our goals this year, honestly, probably just to dig into the video more. That's something I've been saying I'm going to be doing. I just haven't. All excuses aside, I just plain out haven't. That's going to change here soon, but we're about to hit, or not about to, but we're pretty close to 10,000 followers there on Facebook. So that's kind of a huge deal for us, we think. And we're going to have a big giveaway for that. We're also we're like 15 away from 9,000, so we're going to have a little giveaway for it. But our 10,000 light giveaway on Facebook is going to be huge, hopefully. I got some plans for it, but I don't want to spill any information out right now. Nothing set in stone. But as far as that, our message alone is just, we don't really have a message, I guess you could say, but just be yourself. The reason we do what we do is because we love where we're from. We want to showcase what we do in the best possible way, and that's through photography. People can relate through not just our pictures, but our stories, and we're going to continue to do so, and hopefully inspire some others to do as well, just like you mentioned about the heritage dying. So maybe it'll spark a few people here and there, whether they're from PA themselves or from Illinois, who knows. But as long as we can just reach a couple people and enjoy what we're doing, I think it's the key thing. If you're not having fun, then it ain't worth it. I think we're always going to have fun. So, yeah, I guess that's it.
I feel like that post you put out, you got some followers on your page and stuff, and you never know how much reach you have or how much impact you have. But a post like that had an impact on me, so it had an impact on other people. And homie made a post today, about what he's got going. I feel like that it had an impact on me. I think it had an impact on a lot of people, and it happens to me, every day. I see something and it either motivates me or makes me think about something different. So pages like yours out there posting genuine content. Everybody says there's too many of them, but I don't think there's enough because people are going to relate to things different. And one post that has 7 likes that you think didn't do anything might have really impacted someone. And another post that you think was awesome might not have meant anything. So
Yeah, literally that happens quite often. I have this great picture in my mind I think's great, and I'm like, man, this thing is gonna hit the wall, like people are gonna love this, and I post it and it gets like 10 likes combined. I'm like, dude, what the heck?
yeah,
It's just, not only is it just a picture, but also the story behind it, I think, has a lot to do with it. Just because it's a fantastic picture doesn't mean it's going to be intriguing to so and so, but they can look at a picture and read a story and relate to it, like, oh man, I remember that time. I remember that time my grandpa or whoever, it definitely hits home a lot more than just a good picture. So we try to do both. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a lot better with the pictures than I am the stories, but I try.
yeah, keep doing it, man. I like it. I like a good post with a good story, and it really helps if it comes from someone that I respect. Like when Clint posts something online, like you were mentioning, homie, I always read it.
Yeah.
When Josh posts something, I always read it. With Chad, the people that you look up to and you like to follow, you're always going to read what they post, whether it's and Clint, he makes some long ones, but they're always good. I wish I could write as good as that dude.
Yeah.
I would definitely be trying to aspire to be something else. I can't talk, write, or I can read. That's it. But that doesn't help me out very much. But I'm lacking in the other two. You got anything, homie?
No, I just wanted to say thank you to Tom for, supporting us in the podcast and being, a really good, I guess, fan of ours. And we appreciate everything that you've done for us, man.
Yeah, no problem at all. I mean, you guys are, besides just being hilarious, and you can definitely just get that feeling of we all could be buddies. You guys put out some great intel and advice and tips and everything you can for when it comes to whitetail hunting, and that's something we all can take. Whether we can sit here and say we know it all or we don't, I will never know it all, and that's what makes it exciting for me. I'm gonna continue to learn, whether it's hunting or photography or whatever, but being able to relate to you guys just through the whitetail woods is something I'm always grateful for, because like I said, it's literally when I listen to you guys, I'll be driving to work or driving to so-and-so's place, just putting your podcast on and just listening, like I'm sitting there right there with you. Just, it's fun, and it's definitely exciting.
Well, we love hearing that, man. That's definitely one of our goals, is to just be relatable and have fun.
You guys knock it out of the park for sure. I don't know how many times I've laughed just listening to you guys go on and on.
If people some people probably think that we're like putting on a scene, but that's just how we normally talk every day of our lives. We're just like, my brain is so minute in how I think about things, and then everything's a joke, until it's serious. If something's got to go down, it's got to go down. But I'm gonna try to have as much fun as I possibly can doing anything.
Right. That definitely shows. It does. And I think that's a big key too, that people are missing, is the fun and everything. And that we don't always have to be serious. We don't always have to try to impress someone or themselves for that matter. Just let loose, have fun, and makes it more enjoyable, I think.
If you're honest, you don't have to ever put on a front about anything. That's what we try to do.
Exactly.
Try to be straight honest with everybody and what we got going and our faults. And I mean, how many people how many podcasts we put out about our faults, homie? Got to be like 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's important. I just think it's important for people to know, like, okay, these guys are creating content, they're killing deer, but they're still messing up and doing the same shit I am. So.
Right.
But. All right, well, I'm going to wrap this up. Just so listeners, we appreciate everything you guys do. We're going to get back we missed last week. That was the first week we've missed, and since the start of the podcast, with all the stuff going on, me having COVID and homie working away from home and working, I don't even know how many hours, and just a lot of shit, and then not being able to get together, and I can't even get out of bed, but we missed it. But we're coming back with some content. We got a lot of cool episodes lined up for you guys. Like we said, we're going to make some changes this year, and we're going to podcast about what we want to podcast. And we thought like this would be a really good time for people to think about maybe starting a tradition next year, or thinking about back into their heritage with their grandpa, because it's the end of the season right now. It's meant to reflect on, what went right, what went wrong, and what you can change. So hopefully we motivated someone out there to make a change and make a tradition and continue a heritage. Or maybe you guys had something that you did for 5 years, and the last 2 years you haven't done it, and maybe you can get back into doing it next year. But always do the right thing, try to leave a legacy, and White Tail Legacy is out.